Okay, so of course the first thing I'm doing is pulling all of my hair off of my face so that I can get to work with my makeup without my fringe getting in the way. And then the first makeup product I'm using is the La Base Pro Hydra Glow Primer by Lancôme. You guys saw this in my last video, and I have to say it's still one of my favourite primers. When you're going to an audition or in a performance, you really don't want your makeup going anywhere, so a primer is key for me. And I like this one because it gives a radiant look to the skin, which makes you look really healthy and dewy. Of course, you also have to prime your eyelids, so I'm using the La Base Paupières Pro in Beige Porcelaine, slight shimmer to it, which I just really like, and I'm patting this all over my eyelids to prime them for shadows so that the shadows I use won't crease and they will also appear more highly pigmented and saturated. I'm also priming the lower lash line because, of course, there's going to be a shadow going there. For this video, I'm going to be using my new favourite ever brush set by Spectrum. This is the 10-piece Essentials set. I will link it in the down bar, and I'm using the large fluffy brush with the two pink shimmery shades in the Blushed Nudes palette by Lancôme, Maybelline. I'm just applying this all over my eyelids to provide a nice bright shimmery eye base. The next palette I'm using is by Lancôme. It's the Parisian Lights palette, and I'm just taking this kind of coppery gold, deep gold shade, and I am placing this with, again, the same fluffy brush into the crease to give a little bit of depth to the eyes. Going back in with the Blush Nudes palette, I'm taking the two darkest kind of chocolatey brown colours, and I'm using the angled brush from Spectrum with this, and I'm placing that on the outer corners of my eyes in a slightly extended wing shape. I really like doing this to not only deepen the eyes and add drama, but it also elongates your eye shape. Then I'm slightly blending that out so there's no harsh lines. Going in with my current favourite palette ever. This is the Menthe palette. I'm taking the navy blue shade and the bluer shade directly below it, and I'm placing this over the wing shape we just did and slightly on the outer half of my lids. This adds a bit of colour, but it's not too overwhelming. Everything's really subtle, and from certain angles you can just pick up the navy blue tones, and I think it looks really, really pretty. When you're under the stage lights, your eyes can get a little bit kind of washed out, so adding a bit more colour to your makeup is perfect. Then I'm taking the blue colour and the bright sort of turquoise colour on the tip of that brush, and I'm using that to create a thick, almost like liner type shape, just to add a little bit more colour again. You can see the eye looks lifted and a lot more kind of elongated and a little bit cat-like, and then I'm just again going in with a blending brush to soften everything up. Now I'm taking my ring finger with the two lightest colours in that kind of mermaidy Lancôme palette, and I'm patting that onto the inner corners of my eyes. I really love these two for a highlight. They look so pretty. Now, of course, we have to go in with the face makeup, and I'm using Lancôme's City Miracle CC cream in shade 1, and I put out a little bit of this onto the back of my hand. I dab it all over my face, just in little dots, and then I take the Spectrum flat top buffer brush, is what I've been using recently since I got the brush set. This just makes things so quick and easy. It's absolutely amazing. So I just buff all of the product out in circular motions. This gives me a really nice coverage, and it also gives me a little bit more colour. So when you're under, again, the stage lights, you want a little bit more colour to your face so that you don't look washed out or anything. Next, I'm taking the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. This is a brightening and illuminating concealer, and I'm placing this underneath my eyes and also quite a bit on my nose. I went out to the beach the day before this and the bridge of my nose got very badly burned, so I'm trying to conceal that as much as possible, and I'm using the flat top concealer brush by Spectrum, again in circular motions, just to blend everything away so it looks seamless. Just blending, blend everything out. And then I just go in with my ring finger and just do any little touch-ups and pat over to make sure that everything's nice and seamless and perfect. And then I'm taking the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. This is just a transparent powder with the large Spectrum powder brush. This must sound so much like it's sponsored. I promise you it isn't. But I just got this brush set and it's 100% cruelty-free. It's good for vegans to use. And the site says approved by unicorns, so how can I not love it? So I just placed the powder on mainly my T-zone and then dust a little bit of it over the rest of my face. Then I'm going in with the medium blue colour from the Menthe palette, and I'm placing this on my lower lash line to balance out the eye makeup and to brighten up the colour of my eyes. Just generally doing any little eyeshadow touch-ups that I want to now that the face makeup is finished, so going over the inner corner highlight again as well. Then, since I've done everything I need to, that's going to involve my forehead, I am just going to take off my cat ears headband and brush down my fringe so it's nice and smooth and perfect, because I'm a perfectionist and I need my fringe to be looking lovely. Then going in with the Lancôme Black Art Liner. This is a matte black liquid liner, and I'm using this to create a very, very thin line along my upper lash line. This is always a little bit stressful because sometimes my eye will twitch. But I've found that it's actually easier to keep your eyes open and tilt your head up and look slightly down while you are applying the line. I just find that this makes it a lot easier for me to get the thinnest line closest to the lash line so there's no gaps. And then I, of course, wing it out to create a more cat-like feel to my eyes. Then we have to, of course, curl our lashes and go in with some mascara. This is the Hypnose Star mascara. It has sparkles on the bottle. And this was one of the first really, really fancy mascaras that I bought, and I wore it to prom. So every time I use it, it kind of brings back a little bit of nostalgia, which is nice and sad at the same time. But of course I'm just layering generous coats of this on my lashes so that my eyes will stand out. Then for the rest of the face, I'm using the Lancôme Star bronzer. and the packaging is really pretty on this, as you can see, but I'm just taking the angled blush brush by Guess Who Spectrum from the 10-piece kit, and I am sculpting this into the hollows of my cheeks, down the sides of my nose, and a little bit underneath my jaw. If you can see my mouth moving, that's just me talking to my mum who's downstairs, so ignore that. Then I'm taking that same brush and I'm using the Lancôme Blush Subtil in Rose Paradise. This is just a really bright pink blush. I use it in a lot of my tutorials, but it's just one of my absolute favourites because it's nice and bright and girly, and it just gives you a really beautiful rosy pink flush. So I'm using not too much, but I like to have a lot of colour on my face, and I'm just blending that in kind of circular motions, buffing back and forth until I have the colour and intensity that I like. Then I'm taking my favourite highlighter, which is Soap & Glory's Glow All Out in Shimmering Switch, with my 17 brush, and I'm just applying this on my cheekbones and bridge my nose. Then finally I'm using that medium blue from the Menthe palette with an angled eyeliner brush, and I'm tracing just above the line of the black liquid eyeliner, just above it, and this gives a really pretty look and really stands out, and it makes your eyes, if you have brown eyes, this just makes them look really pretty. It really brings out the colour of your eyes and makes them pop. For my hair, that is just, I straightened it and curved the ends inwards, and now I'm just going in with a round brush and I'm brushing it under to maintain that little flip. This makes the hair look really polished and very pretty. And this is the finished eye look. I think it's smoky-ish and it adds a lot of definition, looks very polished and put together, but it's not too over the top, but your eyes definitely won't get lost under the lights. And now for the lips. To start off with, I'm using a Maybelline lipstick in Summer Pink, just a nice medium shimmery pink all over my lips, for a nice flush of fairly natural looking colour. Then I'm taking a Max Factor lipstick in a cooler, more frosty pink shade, and I'm applying this to the centre of my lips to make them look more pouty, and it's just a really pretty effect. I absolutely love it, and that is it. That is the finished makeup look. I love it. I think it's very girly, glamorous, polished. Everything is balanced and put together, and it just looks really great. One of my favourite products to use for my body is the Soap & Glory The Righteous Butter Deluxe Shimmer Cream. I just apply this all over my body, and it has finely milled pink sparkles in it that look really pretty. And for my fragrance, I'm using Wonderstruck by Taylor Swift. Now moving on to the outfit. I'm wearing this gorgeous ruffly floral dress from New Look. It ties up at the back, and getting into this and tying this up is definitely a two-person job. Would not recommend trying to do this by yourself unless you're like double jointed. And it has ruffles at the bottom and this pretty nude pinkish floral print. And my earrings are just kind of drop down crystal earrings from Warren James. I've paired the dress with these amazing shoes. Oh, they're so pretty. They're by a regular choice. They're called Bunny Love. They're blue and metallic and pink, and the heel is kind of sheer. And oh, those princess shoes, they make me so happy. They're gorgeous, and I got so many compliments. So this is what the entire outfit looks like together. It's very girly, and you will definitely stand out and be memorable in the judges' minds, which is important when you're going for an audition. Now I thought I'd show you what I bring with me to an audition. Typically this is what I bring to pretty much everyone. Starting off with, I always, of course, bring my portfolio. You should definitely get one of these together if you're a performer, and my headshot is about 1,000,000 years old, but oh well, I'll update it soon. My CD that has all of my vocal scales and as well as most of my favourite classical songs on it. My white quilted bag with my phone, lipsticks, purse and headphones in case I want to listen to music. And then of course I always take some water with me to stay hydrated. And that's it for today's video.